doctors are falsely claiming they can treat an incurable disease that can lead to blindness.
I am treating people who have never had hope.
A condition affecting me and millions of other people.
أنا بس بشوف عبارة عن ضوء وكتل بس.
I go undercover to expose them.
لا وكل حد بيتحسن، أي حد بيتحسن. ده كله ما زال بيحافظ على ما هو موجود عنده من بصر.
And reveal how nothing is being done to stop their potentially dangerous practices.
These clinics are allowed, unfortunately, to continue because nobody's willing to take the bull by the horns and do what's in the patient's best interests and shut them down.
This is really crazy.
I am Ramadan Younes, an investigative journalist. I have a genetic eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa. I've spent the past few years investigating clinics claiming they can treat the untreatable. In Russia, they have been selling RP treatments to Arab patients for years. By far, the largest is the famous Fyodorov Eye Hospital in Moscow. Mohammad Abdulmun'im underwent treatment there over 4 years with vitamin injections and tablets.
لكن النظر شبه فقدته. حاليا الآن أنا بس بشوف عبارة عن ضوء وكتل بس. أصلا الضوء ذاته بحس بيه ماشي متلاشى.
I had been told about an office in Sudan that arranges for patients to travel to Moscow. I went undercover to see what they are telling patients.
في واحد زميلي قال لي انه منطقه الليل عارفه الليل وكده صراحه ما صدقتش نفسي.
العلاج الآن المتبع في الروسيا للأمراض بتاع صفة الشبكية والدراسة الشبكية.
ايوه.
حاليا في الوريد بالإضافة إلى حقن يعني دايركتلي في العين يعني طوال.
طب في العلاج ده ليه اي اعراض جانبيه؟
لا ما عنده. لا وكل حد بيتحسن، أي حد بيتحسن.
After receiving a letter from the hospital inviting me to Moscow, I've decided to call them to confirm the details, still posing as a patient.
How can I benefit from the treatment?
If I speak between us, there's no benefit from these injections. You even can find them in Sudan or Egypt. Your disease is inherited and congenital and no treatment for it.
This didn't come from a doctor, but it seems that even some of the staff don't believe in what they are doing, so I talked to two trusted experts. We visited an office here in Sudan, and they told me that all patients who receive this treatment, their vision have improved.
I haven't ever seen such advertising from the governmental clinic in Russia. They cannot offer that because this disease is untreatable.
The vitamin treatment, it worries me on two levels. The first thing is that we've evolved as humans to have vitamins and we eat them. Why not just have a pill? You don't need to have an injection. The second thing that worries me a little bit is that there's no real evidence that vitamins will be of any benefit.
The hospital did not respond to our questions, and they are still offering their treatment. Although there is no cure for RP, there is one treatment that aims to stop the progression of the disease, but it only works for a small number of patients. After taking a genetic test, today I find out if I am eligible.
From our results, unfortunately, you have a healthy 2 healthy copies of the RP65 gene. So unfortunately, that gene therapy would not work for you.
I was ready to hear any result, but I didn't expect this result actually. But you know, what can I do? Just I will go on and see what will happen in the future.
This has been hard, as this treatment offered me a rare hope, but I'm determined to carry on with this investigation. So I head to Miami for the most disturbing case I've come across. I found a video of a doctor based here called Jeffrey Weiss, who is making some pretty big claims.
So I am treating the untreatable. I am treating people who have never had hope.
His treatment is actually a clinical trial, which unusually you pay to join.
طلبوا تقريباً $20,000. طبعاً أخذتهم من الأقارب والأحباء. هم هناك بس عشان يسحبوا فلوس. وما بيهتموا إيش صار في عينيك. ضايقت جداً ودخلت في depression.
I went undercover as a patient and called another doctor running the trial.
Okay, so we're using the patient's own bone marrow as a source of the stem cells. Dr. Weiss, who's the retinal surgeon, he injects them under the lid into the orbit in the back of the eye.
This treatment is completely safe.
To say something is safe is I don't know, is flying in an airplane safe. Yes, it's safe. I mean, we have 0 adverse events, have had no complications.
لما فتحت عيوني لقيت إني مش عمالي بشوف أي حاجة بعيني الشمال.
What should I expect after receiving the treatment?
We would say the vast majority of patients experience benefit, either improvement in vision or stabilization. Stem cells.
I showed my call to 3 professors of ophthalmology.
I do not believe that this hypothesis that he's making has scientific validity.
We have 0 adverse events.
To say 0 adverse events in that setting is extremely difficult for me to believe.
Thank you, Dr. Levy.
Okay, take care.
This is crazy and very powerful. It troubles me.
He's using his position as a doctor, a position of authority, to talk about science in a way that the patient can't understand. This is not a valid clinical trial. This is a very worrying treatment that's potentially damaging for the patients, and it needs to stop.
So how in America is this allowed to happen?
The only way for me to describe the stem cell world is like the Wild Wild West. And it's not just in Florida, this is worldwide.
Andrew Yafa is a medical malpractice lawyer in Florida who has been contacted by patients who've been on the trial.
These clinics are allowed, unfortunately, to continue their profit-driven business because nobody's willing to take the bull by the horns and do what's in the patient's best interests and shut them down.
The only body that can shut them down is the Food and Drug Administration, but they did not respond to our specific questions about the trial. I revealed to Dr. Levy that I'm a journalist investigating their treatment and requested an interview with Dr. Weiss. He refused my request and told me that I was a disgrace to my family and to millions of people suffering from untreatable eye disease from across the world.
I totally know what it feels like when you live a beautiful dream that your life will be completely changed. But suddenly, you find yourself waking up to a nightmare. We've embarked on this investigation to help the patients who were left alone in darkness and pain share their experience, hoping that this will help other potential victims from falling into the same trap.